New trailer for Mortal Kombat just dropped, and before that, we had a little mini teaser trailer for Johnny Cage, and Carl Urban is gonna play Johnny Cage, which I'm okay with. I'm not. That wouldn't be my first choice, even though he's supposed to be playing like an older, over the hill um, type of guy. But it still wouldn't be my first choice because Carl Urban, he's more of a serious, strong, serious type. You know, I would personally pick somebody a little bit more witty and more, asshole-ish, more of an asshole. And I don't think Carl is like that. Mr. Urban he's more like like I said, he's more of a serious, kind of Batmanish type of guy. That's why he played Judge Dredd, and most of his characters are very serious, very hard, stone cold type of guys. Um, and I just think that for this particular movie, I think for this particular character, I think it would have been better to get somebody like just more. I don't know, like someone else, but I think he's the best option for today. He's the best option for what we have now, because most of the actors I'm thinking about are retired and they're not even acting anymore. Because I'm thinking more of a type like I forget his name, but like he's Emilio Estevez or his brother, the guy who was drinking tiger blood. Remember that guy? Yeah, he would have been good because, in my opinion, that's pretty much Johnny Cage's attitude. He's like a celebrity asshole, um, who's constantly joking and saying little jokes like that. Also another good one for me personally would have been um the actor from The Count of Monte Cristo. That would have been a good Johnny Cage. I just forget. I'm bad with names, but I'll try to post it on my description or something like that. But that guy would have been good. He was also in lockdown or lock up, something like that, which is one of my favorite movies. But anyways, but I still like Johnny Cage. I still like how he looks in this movie. I kind of like what's going on here. I still, like I said, I still don't dig this Johnny Cage. I don't think Johnny Cage. I don't think this is um a very good Johnny Cage for me personally. But he's okay, and I know most people do like the way Johnny Cage looks and acts here, but I just think his attitude for me personally is different. He's not that serious and he's not that Batmanish. And I think Carl Urban, because I keep trying to say Carl Young. I don't know why. Uh, um, I think he's you know, he's okay, and we're just gonna have to see because I'm pretty sure he can do funny, but I don't think funny is his forte. Or witty. And I always saw Johnny Cage as you know kind of an asshole who's quick on the draw, and who's constantly saying dumb shit, and not taking it seriously. But in this trailer, he seemed like he was kind of taking it seriously, but he was also like very like fuck that, you know, like I feel like Johnny Cage would be like more like he'll be more like oh fuck that, you know, or hell no, or something like that. Or nope, I'm out, or I don't know. It just seems like him just going like, fuck that. It was a little bit like, you know, I don't know, like way more serious than I thought Johnny Cage would be. I think the perfect Johnny Cage in recent history was from Mortal Kombat 1, the video game. I think that was the best Johnny Cage, you know, I've ever seen in media, period. You know, and the guy from the animated movie as well, he was pretty good too. But that's what I see Johnny Cage as. Um, but having said that, you know, I still think that it's a good choice for what we have now. And we'll just have to see. Hopefully, there's more stuff that are more Johnny Cage type things that we see in the future. Um, Also, Shao Kahn looks pretty cool. Some people are already complaining about the females in this movie. And I think somebody complained about one of the females doing something to Shao Kahn in the trailer and thinking that, oh, they're going to make the women finish off Shao Kahn in the movie, you know, for woke purposes or whatever. I have no idea. But my thing is like, if you see woke everywhere, there's probably something wrong with you, bro. You're probably brain broken. Um, and you should just stay away from movies, dude, because you're not gonna be a happy camper, man. For example, Jade, who people are already complaining about her because she's bald, and I really don't see the problem. I guess people see certain haircuts and certain colors, and they automatically assume something political. And I feel like when that happens, I feel like maybe you're paying attention too much to your political party. And me personally, I'm not gonna let my political party or, you know, a political party dictate what I can or cannot watch, what I enjoy or what I don't enjoy. Um, and I'm not gonna let that get in the way of me enjoying a movie, or dictate whether I'm gonna like something or I'm not gonna like something. Um, and I think a lot of people out there, you know, certain things trigger them, and certain things dictate what they're gonna be watching or not watching, or enjoying or not enjoying. And it's kind of sad because I feel like a lot of people are missing out on a lot of good movies. And the reasoning is because somebody has blue hair, or some girl has a mohawk, or she's bald, or you know, or she's too much of a badass, you know, and she that's not realistic when we're talking about Mortal Kombat. So it's like it's shit like that, to where it's like a lot of people, they don't, you can't really take their opinion seriously like that, because their shit is built upon political movements rather than whether the person can act, whether the person could play the role well, whether the person can actually do the moves or something. I don't know. Um, I think that the real reason for people hating on this bald chick is really, it's just that they see certain haircuts or certain types of people, and it triggers this political agenda in their brains. Um, and listen, it very well could be a political thing, but who cares? I don't care. I don't, what does it mean? Feminism or something like that? Okay, whatever. That's none of my business. I really don't care. I care about the movie, and I care about, like I said, whether it's gonna be a good movie or not, and whether she's gonna play the part well. Um, Now, is it true um to the original role, which is something some people are gonna use as an excuse or whatever? Probably not, but at the same time, when I personally look at Mortal Kombat characters, I don't think that they're realistic as far as fighting goes, or as far as their costumes go. Especially in the old days of Mortal Kombat, they just didn't. Especially the females, they didn't seem like warriors. They seemed like strippers or dominatrix, um, type of of females, but they didn't seem like actual warriors. So in my opinion, yes, you should change some of the costumes for the females in particular, especially for the females, because you want them to look like actual um fighters, like warriors. And me personally, I would go through history and try to figure out how women warriors used to dress, and try to come up with something that's in between, that looks good on camera, but is also functional for them to fight in. Because it's first of all, it's a live action movie, right? And you want your actors to be comfortable and to be able to do flips and rolls and be able to fight. And I feel like a bikini is just unrealistic to me personally, and it makes it look way more cornier than it already is, because we're talking about Mortal Kombat, which is the cheesiest thing ever. Um, so you gotta work with what you got, and you gotta work around that stuff. And if you have to make the bitch bald, do it. I don't know. Um, and by the way, there was women warriors. Just look it up. There was plenty of them. There were some in the what is it called, the Vikings. There were some in Mexico. Um, yeah, there was plenty. So, but what else can we talk about here? Baraka is another one that people are kind of complaining about. For me personally, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Does he look kind of weird? Yes, but at the same time, we're talking about Baraka. Baraka is always been a weird looking character, and compared to the guy we used to have in, what is it, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I believe. I mean, this is way better. Are you kidding me, brother? The last guy had like a mask. You could tell it was a mask on. You could literally see his mouth like through the mask. So I don't know. That's another thing. Like Annihilation sucked, and then and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the first Mortal Kombat movie, from 1995, I believe, it was outright. It wasn't like people hyped that one like way too much. Now I get it. Compared to most fighting video game adaptation movies, yeah, it's pretty much the best, right? But the thing is, we don't have that much to choose from, and then it becomes subjective into what you enjoy more. Did I enjoy Mortal Kombat? Yes, but was it like the best video game movie for me personally? No. Like, no, it's there's a lot of trash in there, bro. It's a lot of dumb shit in there. And I get it. A lot of people like stupid, dumb, corny shit. I get that. Me personally, I could only take so much before I start laughing at the shit. And for me, it's better for the movie itself not to take itself seriously. That way we could both be in on the joke. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Street Fighter, the live action movie. That movie did not take itself seriously at all. And you start thinking, while you're watching the movie, you start to realize, yeah, bro, this is weird for people to be Street Fighters. Are you kidding me? It doesn't make any sense. And I mean that's why I personally enjoyed the live action Street Fighter a little bit more than the Mortal Kombat movie. That's just my personal um opinion. But yeah, I mean Baraka does look kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie, but you know it's not that bad. You can see Liu Kang here in the background, and you could see Jax as well. It looks like he has the little hands back. I hope he doesn't. I hope he has his big arms because they did him wrong with them little arms. And then the Scorpion scene, him doing the fatality against I believe Smoke or I forgot the name of the character, but yeah, I mean it's good to see Scorpion come back, and also if you notice Scorpion's outfit, it doesn't look exactly like in the game, which is what I keep saying to people is like it's better if it's not exactly like in the game because the more it looks close to the game, the more cheesy it looks, the more unrealistic it looks. But this I think is perfect in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Um, and and yeah, I mean, hopefully we get more movies like martial arts movies. Martial arts movies need to come back. Um, but I feel like in this mini trailer for Johnny Cage, we could kind of see why they don't come back. You know, because there's a lot of things that just won't translate in today's um in today's day and age. It just won't translate the same. And if there's certain changes that need to be done, in my opinion, to martial arts movies in order for them to make a comeback. Um, I remember I saw a TV series called The Badlands, and I remember the very first episode had an opening scene that made me think that maybe we were going to have almost like a renaissance of martial arts movies or just TV in general. Um, but the thing is, after that first opening scene from that movie, The Badlands, it's the fight scenes started to become way more and more fantastical, and they started to become way more and more um graphic based or special effects based, you know. And I personally think we need to go back to practical effects. We need to go back to less wire work, less wire work. I mean, I'm not saying don't do any wire work, but when it gets to the point to where you're just doing nothing but floating in the air, like that's the type of shit that in my opinion turns people off to martial arts movies. Um, and I think the whole wire work needs to be uh, left to a minimum. And I think in that TV show, the Badlands, it got to a point to where they were just spending hours in the air, just flying and jumping through all kinds of shit, and I was like, bro, like it's it's way far away from that first scene that made me wanna get into that TV show. It's a martial arts based, TV show, and it was a good concept. The Badlands was about a post apocalyptic world, where people just know martial arts and they fight each other or whatever, kind of like Fist of the North Star. But like I said, it deviated from that, and it went way too past into the fantastical realm. And I feel like part of it is because the budget. They want to make something extremely expensive, and they feel like if it's extremely expensive, then it makes for a good movie, but it doesn't. You have all the special effects in the world and all of the wire works you want. It's not gonna make for a good action movie. you know. But anyways, we're just gonna have to see what happens here. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later.